Hey guys, Camo12 here, and it's been a hot minute. I'm here to talk about the movie 5 Feet Apart, and I haven't made a video since November. Completely skipped over Christmas. I've gone through a lot of losses, and that was a hard time for me. So I just didn't want to record anything. I tried to make a Christmas video. It didn't work out so well. So I ended up not posting at all. So here I am, March 15th, and it is Friday. I just decided to make this video today since today is the release date for 5 Feet Apart, even though I saw it yesterday. For those of you who don't know what 5 Feet Apart is, 5 Feet Apart is a movie about two people with cystic fibrosis, and they can't be together. And for those of you who don't know, I have cystic fibrosis, and this movie was a huge blockbuster for myself. Because this is the very first time that it's one movie that is completely based on someone with cystic fibrosis. Or two people in this case. So, it's about two people with cystic fibrosis. They fall in love, and with CF, you can't get within 6 feet, but it's called 5 Feet Apart because in the movie she talks about that. If somebody gets closer than 6 feet, they could share, or you could catch their bacteria, and that is only people with cystic fibrosis. So if someone with CF and someone who doesn't have CF collide, whatever, nothing's going to happen. Unless they're sick, then they could get sick, but it's different. That's just there's a whole different thing. For CFers, when someone with CF and another person with CF come closer than 6 feet, their saliva has bacteria, and if they collide, it can create this bacteria it's a bacteria that's called Pseudomonas. That's the only thing I've heard. In the movie, they say this other one, which I have never heard of. I don't know if it's true, and I don't remember what it's called until I see the movie again. But Pseudomonas is the biggest germ that I will talk about later in the video in cystic fibrosis, and that's the one that we try to steer clear from, because if you catch that from another CFer, then that can be even worse than just catching it. So with two of them dating, that's not okay. If they kiss, they could have this bacterial infection that could potentially cause them to die. One of them's on a transplant list, but I don't want to give away any spoilers. I just kind of want to talk about the movie. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And there was not a dull moment, and I don't think that the movie was drug out at all. It's perfect. It's 2 hours. And the only thing I want to say that I don't like about it is the oxygen. And in Hollywood, how they portray cystic fibrosis is they need oxygen. That's not the case. People with such low percentages with their lung capacity, like breathing capacity, aren't on oxygen, because it's not the oxygen. It's not that they can't breathe or like on their own. They know when to breathe and everything. They just can't get it through their lungs, because with cystic fibrosis, the lungs create mucus, so in the airways, that you have to do treatments for. Last Christmas I made a video, and the first half of my Christmas haul was cystic fibrosis and explaining that I have it and everything. But I'm just going to update that a little bit. So, for those of you who don't know, cystic fibrosis is a genetic terminal illness. And genetics, both parents have to be a carrier. If one is a carrier, the child could be a carrier. But if they are both a carrier, it is a 1 in 4 chance that their child will have CF. And if their child has CF, then the child is obviously homozygous dominant with CF. So if they have a kid, but their partner is not a carrier, their kid won't have CF. They'll just be a carrier, possibly. No, the child will be a carrier. All of them, all the kids they have will be a carrier. But if the other partner is a carrier, then their kid could have cystic fibrosis. Both of my parents are carriers, which is why I am the 1 in 4 chance. Cystic fibrosis is a disease that affects the lungs and the pancreas. Mostly the lungs. And I'm going to talk about those first. So the lungs produce thick, sticky mucus, and we have to do treatments. For me, it's 30 minutes long, twice a day. Show you a clip of that. So I buckle all of these, and then it airs up and shakes. And then it just breaks up the mucus as it goes. And I have to do that every day, along with the nebulizer. And my nebulizers in the morning is Pulmozyme, and at night it's sodium chloride. So it's basically just vapored salt. It's liquid salt that then turns to a vapor. And activity helps with the lungs. So if I'm going to just go for a jog, it's not going to be hard for me, as long as I cough up the mucus and get rid of it, which is what I have to do during my treatments. And I also do a TheraPep, which is, I'll show you. So it's this. Here, let me get it focused. So there's this piece, and when I blow into this, and I'll just demonstrate what I have to do. So I have to exhale into it for 5 seconds for like 20 times, and then cough it up, and then I do it again. So technically 40 with a break in the middle, and then you gotta do it at the end of that 22. So I'll just show you, like, I'll do it twice just to show. Just like that. It's a breathing tool that I use after both of my treatments every day. Unlike asthma, so asthma closes the airways. Cystic fibrosis just blocks it. So if I do my treatments, I can clear that up a bit so I can breathe. Which in 5 feet apart, like I was saying, the oxygen doesn't help. Because we can easily get oxygen. It just has to go through our lungs. And if that airway is closed, you can put as much air as you want. It's just not going to get through there. That's the only thing that I don't like about the movie. But Hollywood shows it so you can actually see CF. And you can't see it. It's an inside disease. Just like a mental disorder, you can't show a mental disorder. Back to the lungs. Okay, so I have 2 vest treatments, like I showed you one. My other one, I just got in September in 2018, and I was gonna make a video on it. Now I am. I'll show you it. Okay, that's the vest, and it's a portable vest made by Hillrom, which is the same brand as my other vest machine, and it does the same thing. And in the movie 5 Feet Apart, they talk about an Aflo vest. That is a portable vest, but I asked my doctors about it because I was researching, and I asked them about it last year. And I had asked them about an Aflo vest, like, couldn't I have that? And they said that out of all the vest machines there are, Aflo vest is at the very bottom, ranked #1 being the best. And they've seen lung functions go way down from where they were before because the Aflo vest doesn't have as much pulsing. I guess it's just not as good as the Hillrom machine that plugs into the wall. But Hillrom recently came out with this vest called Monarch, and that is what I have, and it works for me. It has these circles that pulse, so that's how that works, and it works for me every morning. Like, people just think it's for travel, but you don't want to have this in the closet, and then when you're going to go on vacation, you haven't used it and you're not used to it. You got to learn how to use it. So I use it every morning when I get ready for school, because I can wake up, change my clothes, and then put that vest on, and it's 30 minutes, and I'm saving 30 minutes of my day. I could get ready in 30 minutes instead of sitting there for 30 minutes waiting for it to be done when I can't do anything while I do it. Because I can't comb my hair, I can't get ready in the morning when I'm sitting in the living room. So this has just given me a lot of freedom and allows me to get up a little later instead of waking up before morning band practice at like 5 when I have to be there at 6:45. Getting up at 5, starting it, and getting done by 5:45-ish, and then getting ready for the day just takes so much time. So it's given me a lot of freedom, and I love it. Thank you, Hillrom, for making that. And it's 100 times better than the Aflo vest. But in the movie, they talk about the Aflo vest, and Monarch was not out yet. So in the movie, they just show that because it's a portable vest, and they didn't have Monarch yet. So that's just what that is, and the difference when you watch the movie. I also take this medication called Orkambi. And it goes through my genetics and helps me breathe somehow. I don't know how, but I take 2 tablets a day. Well, two tablets in the morning and then 2 at night. And they're just in those little packages. Those little pill things. But that's one advancement. And there's also Siptico, which some of you might know if you have CF. I am not on that currently. I'm just on Orkambi, but it has been talked about with me switching. It's the same thing, works the same way, it's just a little bit better. It's another advancement. There's advancements all the time. The age used to be around 20, 30 life expectancy, and now it's up to 40 40-ish. I have seen people go older than 40, and I'm sure in the next 10 years, it'll be even farther. I hope. I'm 15 right now. The pancreas part is I can't digest food alone. By myself, I have to take pills. And I take Creon, which they do say in the movie. Because it's what we all take. And just different dosages, obviously. And what it does is it helps me digest, but I don't get all the calories from it. So say you eat a cheeseburger and I eat a cheeseburger. You're obviously going to get all the calories that are in that cheeseburger. I'm going to get like half, which is a weight problem. I can't gain weight as easily, but if I don't take the pills, I'm not going to get anything because it's just going to go right through me. So, that's just one part. And some people, males, are infertile, but that also doesn't mean everyone's different. Just like me, I am not that bad with CF right now. I don't know what the future holds, and I've only been hospitalized when I was diagnosed. But in the movie, you'll see that she has a port and a G tube, which is a feeding tube. Some people need those, and those are accurate. Last year I talked about the Fry Life, which is one of the shirts I have, which I'm wearing right now. She has a feeding tube and a port. I don't have any, and I also don't have. Some people are diabetic with cystic fibrosis, and some also have asthma. I do not. I just have cystic fibrosis, and I'm all clear with all this. I just have to do the treatments and the nebulizers and everything. And I also have an inhaler. It's a common inhaler. Called Pro Air. And most people with asthma have that same inhaler because it opens your airways. I take a Prilosec because I had a heartburn once when I was 7 or 8-ish. It was horrible, and they put me on that medication, and I haven't had one since. I go to the doctor every 3 months to get a checkup, and again, like I said, I've never been hospitalized, just normal checkups, and I'm doing well. Let's talk about activity. So like I said, activity is good because it breaks up that mucus. That's what the vest does. The vest breaks up the mucus so that I can cough it up and, but activity helps the lungs be clearer too, as long as I'm coughing it up. Even if I don't, I can do that later, but it still helps me breathe. So right now I'm involved in DRUMLINE, which we march and everything, and I'm carrying a heavy drum, which isn't that heavy, but it still helps me. I'm in track. Shot put, we don't run or anything, but it's still something. And we do weights occasionally. But I'm in sprints as well, and that helps a lot too. I'm also in dance, clogging and hip hop, and taekwondo occasionally. My dad teaches it, and I've just been really busy, so I haven't been in that lately, but that helps too. And I go on bike rides. nice out and when I don't have anything else to do. I've gone on a bike ride almost every day this spring break. It's been just amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do. There is a bacteria that can grow, and they always check me for it every 3 months. And it's called Pseudomonas. I'll put it up here. And it's a bacteria that CFers can get. Say I have Pseudomonas and a person without cystic fibrosis is around me, they cannot catch that germ. Someone with cystic fibrosis, however, if they were around me, can catch that. That's a big one, and it's usually takes 2 weeks to get rid of, and it's horrible. It's a really bad cough, and it makes your chest hurt. Sometimes lung bleeds can even happen, which is where your lungs are just so dry from your coughing and everything, and it just starts bleeding, and then you can't do treatments because you have to be hospitalized. Again, never happened. That's good. I'm glad I've been healthy enough that doesn't happen. And I cough still with like all the treatments and everything. I'm still gonna cough. It's still gonna happen. It's always gonna happen. Cystic fibrosis is a genetic disease. You can't catch it, obviously, because it's in your genetics. I told you about that. And if I cough, you're not gonna get anything unless I'm sick with the flu. But my immunity level is also low with this. So if you're sick and around me, I could get sick. I've been better this year. I've only been sick once, twice maybe. And I've only had Pseudomonas twice in my life. I think I had it either last year or in 7th grade. I think it was 7th grade. So I'm a freshman now. And I had it in 2nd grade the first time. And I have to take this, right? I have to do this nebulizer called Tobi. And no one likes it. It's a horrible, taste and everything. It's just, I'm used to Pulmozyme. There's really no flavor or taste or anything to that. And I like salt. Here's the thing with the salt. With CF, we have low sodium level as well. So I would have to, if I was super active and sweating all day, whatever, I need to have potato chips or pretzels or something with a lot of salt. Gatorade has some salt in it too, so that would help. If I'm low on salt, I could get a headache, I could become dehydrated, even if I'm drinking a ton of water. Salt is still a part of that. Which is why I have to do those inhalants at night with the salt. I could do it in the morning and do Pulmozyme at night, but I choose to do salt at night and Pulmozyme in the morning. If any of you ever have any questions, just comment down below. I would be happy to answer them. And I could do a Q&A video with cystic fibrosis and actually do it. Because 2 years ago I said I was going to do a Q&A and never did. I'm sorry. But if you guys have a ton of questions, I would do that. But if it's just a few, I'll reply. I reply to comments. Please see that 5 Feet Apart movie. I encourage it. Take it for what it is, because we all know we don't need the oxygen. But I love that movie. I am seeing it with a ton of friends over the weekend. And I will see you all in the next video. I am getting new drum heads currently, which is why I haven't recorded anything, because they don't sound that good. They should be coming soon, and I'll get them tuned and everything, so we should be pretty good. But I'll see you all in the next video, and stay positive, live life to the fullest. I will see you guys later. Bye. Peace.